Hello, are you out there? I'm Mark with Redo Over, and you probably don't know who I am, but this is Galactic Civilizations 4 Supernova, and this is going to be a tutorial series that goes in depth about how this game plays. So just give me a few seconds before you click off if you're not sure if you want to watch this or not. I'll explain what I fully intend to do. So I'm not a professional. I don't get paid to do any of this. I don't even get paid to make the videos. This is purely hobby-based. I've been playing the game for about 1 month. It came out about 4 months ago. And as I've been trying to learn this rather complex game, I've certainly watched plenty of YouTube videos by at least a half a dozen other creators, and they've all made great videos, but they aren't really telling me how the game works. They're just kind of playing through the sessions, which is cool. I make videos like that too, and I watch videos like that, but it's not crunchy enough. I don't know another way to describe it. There's a lot of stuff I've struggled to understand, and once I understood it, it would just be like, oh, no one else in their videos is telling me this shit. I just got to figure it out on my own. So I will probably make every weekend an hour video, and we'll play a starter game from start to finish. What I will do, though, is that every choice I make, I will discuss why and what the number dynamics are. So if you're still with me a minute into this intro and that sounds like what you want, then stick here with me. Or if you're maybe one of a dozen people who watches my content. Otherwise, hello. See if you like Galactic Civilization Supernova. So I will reserve my overall review of this game till months from now when I have a good idea of the game. I've played all the way through it. I am learning. If you're watching these with me and there's something you figure out or something I get wrong, something I don't know, put it in the comments. It would legitimately be helpful. So I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on this, but I will just point out the things. It really is about me playing the game initially and going, I don't get this. What's going on? And then once I figured it out, going, oh shit, I wish I'd known that. So yeah, here we go. This plays a lot different than games like Stellaris, in my opinion, or Master of Orion. I got a lot of Mutu stuff. And at first, I wasn't sure, but I really fell in love with it. And so that's a big part of the reason why I guess I'm making this series as well, is because I think there are a lot of folks out there who might dabble in this for a 3-hour sit down and then just go, I don't know. But the more I played it, the more I liked it. So I think it's a legitimate game that I think there can be a community of people that grows up around. We'll see. So new game. Here we go. I know that there are plenty of pre-made Xenos. What are there, like 20 here? And a lot of these have tie-ins to the Galactic Civilizations 1, 2, and 3 game. There's a whole story and history of the galaxy. And so you can play these characters you're familiar with. You can certainly do a completely custom one. And I think they even have a way to do it AI generated. I see all these little videos of people making their little AI generated species and blurbs and artwork. That's cool. I'm not going to mess with it, though. I think for simplicity's sake, just something we're familiar with is the baseline, as we will just play the Terran Alliance here. So over here, essentially, each species is going to start with 2 abilities. They're all going to get this colony ship flagship, so those are not abilities. I don't know why they're under the abilities, but they are. So a little confusing as you're sorting through all these Xenos over here. You're going to just notice that everyone has the colony fleet and the flagship, but they have these 2 different abilities. They're going to have a different cultural focus of 8 cultural focuses. Each of the 8 cultures has a culture tree. I have read through maybe half of them, but I personally haven't even gotten through all the culture trees at this point. I haven't looked through all of them, so I don't want to say one is better, but I can probably guarantee that as you develop your own play style, you'll find one of the 8 cultures that really works to the way you like to play the game, which is not a bad thing. Although you could still dip into any culture tree, so don't feel like you're pigeonholing yourself by the culture that you choose at the beginning of the game. You don't got to be afraid of that at all. There's plenty of wiggle room. I have noticed through diplomacy that you're more likely to have good relations with species that have similar cultural focuses, and the ones that are diametrically opposed to you, you're going to have less good diplomacy interactions. And then for biology, there's only a handful of biologies. I think they have an ammonia-based, They have one for synthetics that don't eat food, but like so carbon-based here species uses water and hydrocarbons as the basis of their chemistry. Their populations require food in order to grow. So you got to farm with these guys here. These guys. Crap, I'm inverted. There you go. Okay, let's jump back over to the Terrans there. So cultural focus, individualism, carbon-based. It's not going to matter so much, and they are Voyagers. The nice thing is there's tons of tooltips. There's tons of icons on everything in the game, and it can be a little overwhelming, but everything tooltips rather nicely. So you do that. You can read the stuff you want. Also, I believe if you hold the shift key, and you do need to know this, so I've moused over Voyagers. You can see my cursor here. It brings up this pop-up box. I'm going to hold the shift key on my keyboard down and mouse over, and then it would allow me to mouse onto other stuff. Now, these are not popping out right now, but it allows you to mouse inside of a window. So you can like kind of like nested tooltip boxes, so you can really drill down. Pretty nice feature. It's the hitbox on it's a little wonky, so sometimes you have to like move your cursor off of a given icon and then move it back on to get the box within a box to pop up. So a little bit of a bug in my opinion, Stardock, but you guys will get it all fixed up. So for Voyagers here, though, yeah, this is pretty point blank. You get a +2 ship sensor range, awesome, and you get a +1 to ship moves. So a low end, ship movement in the game, like early on, might be 7 or 8 hexes, tiles moved per turn, month, whatever it is in the game. But when you get cooking, like, at least through the mid game stuff I play too, you can hit 15. 18, 20. You can get like, just to give you a scale idea. So you're going to start around 7 or 8, and you're going to get to 15. You're going to get to 20, maybe much more. I don't know. And then Inspired here, this is an additional leader is available for recruitment, and leaders cost 25% less to recruit. Yeah, one of your big monetary income expenses, your Galacto credits, go towards buying leaders. Maintaining them's not that big of a deal. I don't know that there's much of a maintenance thing there associated with. Yeah, early on in the game, you're going to spend the vast majority of your income on leaders. So with 25% discounts, not bad. But yeah, it just breaks it down there. You can +1 max recruits, -25% leader cost, +5 persuasion. This is interesting. We might as well just jump into this right now. As you sort through all these Xenos, choosing the one you want to play, you're going to notice persuasion, deception, intimidation. What a wonderful nod to the D&D 5e system of social interactions. But yeah, you don't need to be strong in all of them, but you probably want to be strong in one of them, and it's going to lead to negotiations. If you've got a high intimidation, you might be able to bluff away a belligerent Xeno species that is trying to intimidate you, encroach upon you, or is going to declare war on you, and you're like, go for it. Give us everything you got. And they're like, oh, that is intimidating. This person is dangerous. And or persuasion. You're just like, come on, why don't you give me one more Durantium? I'm sure karma will pay you back, and the galaxy will pay it all back to you in triple fold. And they're like, wow, yeah, I like that karma talk. And for no reason, this person has persuaded me. So, and then deception, that's just, yeah, you're sneaky sneak. And you just lie to people, and you're like, oh, yes, peace in our time. Wink. And then, yeah. So, it's kind of cool. The social abilities. So the humans have a little bit of persuasion. There's nothing wrong with that. I'll be honest, I have not gotten that deep into the diplomacy part of the game. I mainly just like to build up the infrastructure of my empire and then do some space battles and shit. But you have to do some diplomacy. It comes at you. I just haven't mastered it. So let's hit next. Okay, so every species, even the pre-made species, are going to pop up this window where you can fully customize even the pre-made species. So if you want to play one of the species that is a historical standing within the galaxy and is part of the Galactic Civilization storyline, you can do it and then still easily customize it. It's right here. You have to hit this window. I didn't hit the customization option. This is just the next leads to this. And you go, all right, I'm going to play the Terrans, but they're going to be this way. I'm going to switch stuff around. So let's look over it real quickly. You can edit anything you want. One tricky thing is you can't click out. Like, so you're like, okay, I'm going to edit the Terrence alliances. That's what I wanted to be called, the alliances. But then when you click out or you hit exit, it doesn't do nothing. You have to hit the check box right here. It's not super obvious. That's why I pointed out. Because it's just like, how do I close this window? Gosh darn it. I said, God damn it, but I don't want to swear. I don't want to swear too much. Here we go. Abilities. This is nice. So I pointed out everyone gets the colony ship, everyone gets the flagship. So can't get rid of that. But you do get to choose one of two abilities. You notice here when I clicked on Voyagers, it brought up 2 drop-down menus. These menus contain the exact same abilities. There's about 45 of them. You can't choose the same one twice, obviously. But yeah, so here's Adaptable on top. And then if I go to the Inspired, Adaptable is also on the top of this one. So they're not different. Holy crap, can you just, let's hit accept. Oh my fudge sickle. I have never tried that before. You may be able to double dip, folks. Ooh, does anyone know? Let me know in the comments if you... Hey, I'm not fishing for comments like illegitimately. I'm not like, oh, give me interaction. Like, will this work? I don't know. I'm making a 1-hour tutorial video right now, so I don't think I have time to experiment with it, but wow. Some of the things I could see, like just the way they read, wouldn't do anything. So in this case, Adaptable, you can colonize extreme worlds. You're not going to get double colonized extreme worlds. There's only one type of extreme world. However, let's fish for another one here real quick. Let's see. Where's one? Here we go. Ancient. You get a +1 to max enacted policies. So like you start with 1 policy and then I think it go up to 7. So we click on Ancient. Can I click on Ancient again? And then hit check. Would that give me +2 enacted policies? You wouldn't want that at the start of the game, to be really quite honest. Because I think you only start with like one good one, and there's other ones that are trade-off policies. Okay, policies. No, we'll talk about policies as we get to the policy tab. Okay, let's just get through this and we'll get to the gameplay here. Okay, so let's not be too idiotic about this. So let's just switch this back to crap. I don't know. Yeah, sorry, I'm not really trying to make a ancient cartography. Here, we'll do certain. Okay, +2 influence growth on all of our worlds. Sure, why not? It's point blank, easy to understand. Influence is going to be our sphere of influence around our colonies and our star bases and other facilities within our sector of the galaxy. And as our influence spreads, we can do more things there, and we can have other benefits within our sphere of influence. So let's find another one. Let's switch from certain to... One of these gives us a bonus to defend within our sphere of influence, I think is how they describe it. So let's see if we can find that. Experienced, Starfaring Hive Mind. Ooh, Hive Mind. Ships in your terrain gain additional hit points per colony control. No, not that one. Let's see, Loyal, Intuitive, Paranoid, Bureaucrats. I'm not going to read through all these right now because this would be an entire 1-hour video by itself to go through 45 of these, which I might do if people are interested. We could just chew through the list and break it down and talk about it. But yeah, what was it? Resilience? Let's see. Shift unit. No. Okay. Unrelenting. No. Just keep looking. Colonies, cultures. No. Vigilant. Star bases have larger areas of effect. Enemy ships are slowed and players gain attack bonuses while in the area of a star base. Oh, that's interesting. That's kind of like what I was getting at, though. 10% damage. Watcher? Gosh. Oh, wow, that's kind of cool. Nocturnal, Radiated, Telepath, Raiders, Genocide, Scout Fleet. Wow, this is just some cool stuff. Wealthy? No, I don't want the Universal Translator to start with. I know this is a little bit boring here, folks. I probably shouldn't have adjusted this at all. Here we go. Fertile. Plus 25% growth to all your worlds. Grants +2 citizens on home world. Simple to understand. So we're going to get a bonus to influence and a bonus to our pop growth. There you go. And we should be able to see the effects of it and look at how those calculations work out. I'll just quickly pop down the drop-down menu for the cultural focus. 8 of them. Totalitarianism, pacifism, nihilism, collectivism, progressivism, individualism, egalitarianism, and traditionalism. So we're just going to be the individualism. Sure. This is fine. And then carbon-based, here's our biology. Carbon-based, aquatic, silicon-based, synthetic, ammonia-based. So there's only 5 of them, but they are just mean different things. And I think it might affect how you compete over planetary preference resources, potentially. I think it could reduce conflict or increase conflict if you're all looking for the same thing. Like, I know for like ammonia-based, they like toxic worlds, polluted worlds, much more so, with volatile gases and all that kind of shit. Complex nitrogen compounds. Just ammonia? Yeah. But, yeah, ammonia is made out of, like, what, 4 nitrogens? Does anyone know? What the hell is ammonia made out of? It's like hydrogen, oxygen. No, is it just oxygen and nitrogen? Is that what ammonia is? We'll stop talking about it now. Okay, over here you can choose some different ship styles, all sorts of cool stuff. So many cool ship styles. We'll just leave it as it is. Boom, check. Change your history. You could change your little leader face, the background, the foreground. So like all these windows, ship colors, UI colors, map color. Totally customizable. It's pretty sweet. Your starting homeworld, your planet type. So there you go. Desert, terrestrial, paradise, jungle, arboreal, mountain. Yeah, it's all good fun. All good fun. Right now, the humans start as explorers. Someone just started doing yard work in my neighborhood. That sucks. Hold on, I'm just gonna watch the. I'm just gonna watch the bar here. So it's not loud enough to trigger my mic to record, but it's possible while I'm talking you can hear it. That sucks, but I'm not going to stop. We're just going to push through. I'll need to do these earlier in the morning. So clever is obviously just going to give you straight up research. Now, this is one of these interesting things about the game, is that you have icons. You have words. So here I have a science beaker. I have the word clever, and you're like going, okay, that's about science or research. Well, what does clever do? It gives you research, which over here has the same icon as research, slightly different color, but it gives you 10% research. You're saying, why is clever not research +1? Question mark. It all kind of makes sense. Think of this like the WoW icons, the game World of Warcraft, WoW, where your items, your spells, your abilities, your chance to attack, your cooldowns, everything is represented by an icon tile that you drop somewhere on your UI. All these little icons and the different words, you just kind of get a feel for what they do. Now, do I wish that Stardock was a little more consistent in the color schemes and the icons followed through more? I do. It is almost word and icon salad. That was one of my initial impressions the first couple of days that I was playing the game, was just like, good God, there's 80 icons. There's so many different terms, but it's not infinite. There's a lot of them, but it's not infinite. And the ones you need to learn, you will. You'll get it. You'll get it. So here's a great example. Militant, which is the closed red fist here, yields control +30, which has a goldish yellow scales icon. And you go, what the F, Stardock? Why does a red militant icon just give me a bonus to my yellow scales control value? What? I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. It's odd. It's a critique. I'm critiquing. I'm backseat game designing right now. But it does it a lot. It doesn't mean the game's not fun to play. It just means it is dense to get a handle on because of shenanigans like that right there. Just push through. Okay. Long story short, what we've got selected right now are explorers. Great. That gives us a +2 to our sensor range and a +2 to ship range. Now, explorers here is similar in how it reads to the ability up here that we were looking at earlier that was Voyagers. Voyager, +2 to sensor range, +1 to ship move. And down here, Explorers gives +2 to ship range, +2 to sensor range. That's right. You could double dip, and those are not the same thing. So you being an Explorer +1 yields these benefits. You having the racial ability of Voyager gives these. You see in the blue here, right here, +2 to ship sensor range, all ships, +1 to move. Now, in the game, when you're looking at a ship, you will see the sensor icon, this blue one, and you'll see the ship move icon, this one. Yeah. By the way, anytime I'm within a menu, such as this drop down, and I tool text the Voyager pop-up, I can hold my shift button and then move my mouse into this box. And then, well, I can point out things, but I can also make tooltips within that pop-up. So it's you can essentially do nested tooltips if you hold the shift key down. It's a little kludgy. The hitbox is a little messed up, but in general, it does work. So shift key, hold to mouse into something within a pop-up. Because a lot of times you'll be like mousing on a pop-up and you'll be like reading about it and you're like, it gives me these 4 abilities. What do those 4 abilities do? Because it's just the name. So you got to hold shift and then you can mouse on that thing and kind of drill down all the way. So shift key, hold it while you're mousing. It helps. Okay. But yeah, so you see how the abilities are in many ways similar to what you can do over here on your traits. So these are traits which we purchase with points. I will deselect the current 3 traits. You start with 3 points. Interesting thing about this game is you can deliberately go in and take -2 detriments. These red boxes, you can just click, and if you'll note here, you can take all of them. There is not a maximum or a minimum, for a total of up to 29 points. What that means is you can drastically weight or alter the way a custom race or a modified official race plays, species, race, whatever you, what are we calling these? Civilization. There you go. It's nuts. It's nuts. So if, for instance, you could be like, you know what, I am not going to use any sort of diplomacy. So therefore I will I'm going to have -2 intimidation. I'm going to have -2 likable for my diplomacy. I don't care about that. I'm going to have -2 to my deception, and I'm going to have -2 to my persuasion. I'm going to get rid of all of those. So let me just give this example. This would be like a no diplomacy civilization. They're not likable. So -3 to diplomacy. They have a -25 to deception. They have a -25 to persuasion, and they have a -25 to intimidation. They're not good at any social interaction with other civilizations. However, with the initial 3 total points I had, I now have 15 points. That's a lot of points here, folks. And as we're looking at this, you have a couple of different options. Down here, you have miners, bureaucrats, farmers. There's only a single pip box. Plus 25% food production. I click it, costs me 1 point. Bureaucrat. This is a +1 control a month. Sure, I want that. There you go, 1 point. Miners. Increase plus 50% raw production from asteroid mining. Not all production. Note that. That is, you may not be able to see it behind my face box, but that's what it's saying. From asteroids only. But let's click that. So you can see here, great, I've got 12 points left. And I've now just dunk, giving myself bonuses to these other things that will help me grow my empire. And let's say we don't want to be quite this extreme. Let's take our unlikable one, deception one, we're bad liar, we're unconvincing, and we're meek. There we go. So I took a slightly less extreme version of the low diplomacy. I still got 8 points left, though. I've got these 3 bonuses. So let's see, what else do we want here? Yeah, but you have essentially a -2 pip, a -1 pip, a +1 pip, and a +2 pip. That's what these 4 colors are about. And of course, you don't have to take any. If none of them are selected, you're just in the middle. No detriment, no bonus, no points. No trait pick points. So again, these are civilization traits we're talking about right now. So what else would we want? Well, I want to be clever. Of course, I want a plus 10% to my research. Sweet, click it. Militant. This is interesting. Militant, as far as I can tell, just increases your starting control. You start with 100 control or 120 or something, just to give you a scale. So a +30 or a -10 or a -20. Oh God, those aren't bad at all. Actually, Okay, so we're just talking through, right? We're trying to like understand the game. I believe you start with 100 control by default. I've never exhausted my control ever. So how about we just take a -2 to our control for 2 extra points. So instead of 100, I'll be at 80. You gain control every turn though. Like it grows slowly, you know, +1, +2, +3, somewhere in that range, slowly creeping up. So I'm just saying, like, so instead of 100, I get 80. That to me is no difference. So if I can click on that and get 2 more points, yes, 100% dipping into that sucker. I found it's not that control's not useful, you just don't need that much of it. So definite tip here. Sorry, I'm inverted. God dang it. Okay, explorers. Yeah, sure. Let's do a +2 to ship range and sensor range. Ship range is not the same as movement or sensor range. So let's talk about how the ships work. This is a little bit important. We'll get a look at it though. Your ships are going to be able to move a certain number of tiles a turn. Their sensor range is how many tiles out from them they see as they move. Meaning you don't have to take your ship to every tile. You can, it's fog of war. That's your sensor range is your fog of war revealing. And the ship range is how far your ship can journey from your controlled area of influence, meaning the vicinity of your planets and your star bases. So you can't just cruise all the way across the sector. The galaxy is broken up into sectors, so sectors are pretty good chunks. You can't just go from one end to the other with most of your ships. Probes have unlimited range, but they can't do anything except reveal the fog of war. They can't explore anomalies. They can't fight. They can't do anything. They can only push back the fog of war. FYI. So, yeah. So we could just take a point of that. Sure. What the heck? Brutal. This is for your soldiering. This is for invading planets or resisting invasion of planets. We'll just leave that off. We don't care. Urbanite. Population cap +25. Sure, let's do it. That just means like your planet can have 10 pops max. In a good planet, it's going to start around like 5 pop max. Around there. 4, 5, 6. You put a capital building, it's going to add +5 to it or something, so you get to 10. So your better planets are going to go well beyond 10 pops. So +25% is going to give you 1, 2, or 3 extra pops on every planet. Every planet? That's not a bad thing. So yeah, we'll do that. Rich? Yeah, I like rich. Yeah, listen, you do have to pay taxes. You have a tax rate, which affects your morale of all your people. You want money. You're going to need it. You can turn down your tax rate and increase your morale. And we'll get into that. Oh, God. We're half an hour into this video. I hope everyone's having fun. I know I am. I'm just talking. I'm excited about the game, but we'll get into it. We're going to get into all these tabs. It's going to take many videos. Maybe I'll make more than one this weekend, honestly, just to get us going into the gameplay. Cover all the windows. Yeah. Let me know if anyone watches this. I'm making this on a Saturday morning. The lawn work is stopped outside the window, thank God. If you guys like this and you're interested in it, just let me know. And again, I got like 12 fans, so it's like I don't need 100 people. Just like if 2 people are like, "Can you make another video this week?" and I'll be like, "What the hell?" I'll come home from work one night this week. We'll sit down for an hour. We'll get another video done up quicker. I don't want to overload and bore people, but I want to get through it. I want to get people playing the game with me, and so we can have a community talking about it, talking about strategies and other cool stuff. I haven't seen that yet. I don't know what people think of this game yet. Whatever. Okay. Yeah. Listen, I'm gonna take the 2 pips into it. Or it's actually gonna be 3 pips. No, 2. Okay. That's +15 gross income. Nice. What else do we got? Influence growth. Yeah, influence again is your sphere of influence around your planets and your star bases. It matters. You can flip entire planets by completely encasing them, an alien xenoplanet, in your sphere of influence, and over enough turns, it's possible to flip them, and you'll just win the planet, never firing a shot. It just becomes yours, and there's nothing these Xenos can do about it. It's not bad. Influence isn't bad. I could actually see taking rich to a 1 and taking a 1 in influence there. Fast, that's ship move. You can certainly explore really, really quick in the game. I've never found a great need to do that personally. And that is similar. So explorers gives you ship range and sensor range, whereas fast is your ship movement. As I was explaining, those are the three factors for your how your ship's gonna work. Courageous, planetary defense. Geez, this is really just. Oh gosh. Would you look at that? How odd. So this is another one of those weird Stardock things. I have the civilization trait courageous, which in the positive pips gives me planetary defense bonuses, planetary defense bonus, but on the negatives gives me resistance detriments. If that is not convoluted and kludgy as F, Stardock, what the heck, guys? I'm trying to be nice here, but you must understand why that is confusing to users. It just what? What? It's one trait. It just does different things depending on which direction you go. That's not how anything in the world works, folks. Sorry. I'm gonna breathe it down. I'm gonna breathe down the hate and the rage. Okay, let's keep going. Yeah, we took our detriments to intimidation, productiveness, production. Yeah, let's take a +10 to manufacturing. That's not gonna hurt. Manufacturing is important. That's how you build all your structures, terraforming on your planets. It really does matter. Modifies how quickly improvements can be built on your planets. Now, does that mean that this productive +1 10% bonus to manufacturing, which has a similar icon there, increases how much production you have on your star docks, your shipbuilding star docks in orbit of your planets? We probably want to look at that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, honestly, because the tooltip here says built on your planets, not on your star docks in space. So, and you build on your planets and you build at your star docks. We'll get into it. I understand it to some degree, but we'll select it. We'll find out. And then let's see. Veteran here was going to be experience bonuses. Interesting. I'll tell you what. This is another interesting thing. So check this one out. Veteran is going to be how quickly your ships gain experience. Now check this out. For 2 pips, you can get a 100% bonus. For 1 pip, you can get a 75% bonus. That's a massive bonus for 1 positive pip. It really is. It's not 50 and then 100. It's 75 and then 100. You would never pop the extra pip to get the 25%. Again, I'm looking at this just going, did your design guy, like, was there a note like late into the game where someone's like, oh, we got to adjust this? And someone's like, yeah, okay. And they're just type. And 50 got changed to 75, but then 100 should have been changed to 125? Question? Because the values of these pips get really bizarre. It makes it hard to evaluate things, especially with like some of these where you're going from a 1 pip for 10% or 2 pips for 15. The second pip is much less valuable, and maybe that's what they're going for, is you get less bang for the buck the harder you try and drive into an ability. So I guess that's what they're doing here. Now, on the other side of that, what were we looking at here? Veteran, experience bonus -20, experience bonus -40. So I only say that because for a -1 pip, you lose, dare I say, 1/5 or 20%. That is how percents work. You lose 1/5 of your experience gains. But that's for -1 pip. But for +1 pip, you gain, dare I say, 3/4 of your experience. It's a massive gap there. I don't want to mess with my experience necessarily, so I don't think I'm going to take a negative pip. But hey, so we're saying our experience is just going to be balanced. This is for our ships, how our ships grow. You can level up your individual ships. You don't actually get that many ships in the game, to be really honest. But so look at what we did. We clicked on almost everything. There's only a few that we've left at 0. And we've really modified, and we're leaning into a style of gameplay. In this case, I used 4 detriments to diplomacy features. Not crippling us, but just making it so we won't have any advantages at it, certainly. And I took the detriment to my militant, to my control here. Because that's a -20 to control, not a minus to your starting control. It's not a percentage at all. And I have a feeling they're going to patch this, because why would you not just get rid of 20 of your 100 starting influence? Like, you'll bank hundreds of them as the game progresses. Hundreds, multiple hundreds at a time. So a 20 is just like, it's cents on the dollar. I don't even know. I don't even know how to describe it. But that's a definite. Take those -2. Get those 2 pips. So yeah, I like this. To me, this is like bonuses to production, research, income, mining, food production, influence gains. It's bonus to everything, folks. So I don't see why you wouldn't choose something like this, in my opinion. Next, where are we at here? We're 35 minutes in. We'll at least go for an hour. Yeah, maybe a little more. Okay, so we'll hit reset defaults. I think this is defaulted, but I'll hit reset. Yeah, okay. So difficulty, we are going to play on easy. We're just going to talk, and we might do experiments. I mean, do I want to win? Sure, yeah, we all want to win, but I'm not worried about that yet. Someday we'll try and do some crazy hard, super impressive challenge gameplays, but the game's so new, there's no need to like go to the extremes to push the edges of the game. Just trying to learn it here. Game pacing normal, research rate, gains to research normal, obviously. Minor races occasional, hostile entities occasional, civilization proximity not too close. Yeah, right. You don't want your neighbors right on top of you. And over here, galaxy size small, number of sectors binary, meaning just 2 sectors. I've actually been fiddling around with playing in just 1 sector, because the sector is essentially just it's like a area on the galaxy here that you're bound within, and then you need to like hit like a hyperlane to get to another sector. So it's kind of it's gated by technologies you need to get, so you can dominate your sector and then go reach out to others. But yeah, you can easily play a 1 sector game like and have a great time with it, with a half a dozen Xenos, and you just battle over your sector and you conquer the galaxy that way. So great way to start. But we'll do 2 sectors just so we can make sure those technologies are relevant and learn about them together. Star frequency, occasional. Habitable planets, occasional. Extreme planets, occasional. And resources, these would be like strategic resources that you'll find sprinkled throughout the sectors, occasional. So that's the default. That's what we'll play with. Obviously, you could drastically alter the type of game, suit it to your civilization trait picks by scaling these different things. Maybe you play that ammonia-based Xeno species, so you crank up extreme planets and turn down habitable planets. Maybe that would give you a huge advantage. I don't know. Yeah, possibly. Maybe you take the plus whatever on the mining, like we did, and then you turn your resources up to max, because you mine those resources with mining stations. So maybe that would give you a huge advantage. Well, I don't know. Okay, let's hit next. Oh, there was an advanced settings down there. And it's got things like, how can you win? Can you win by influence? So by default, I think that's turned off. We'll jump in just so you guys can see it, just so you know it's here. Here you go. Advanced settings, tech trading, tech brokering, disable AI civilization surrendering, surrendered colonies, no FOW and no fog of war within your borders. Yeah, so the ones that are off here is right now, AI civilizations can surrender. I've read a few comments here and there that maybe you want to disable that so that the enemies that you want to conquer don't just capitulate and be like, we give up, and you're like, shit, I really wanted to exterminate you to the last Xeno scum. Maybe that's just how you like to play. I don't know. 40K, anyone? Just kidding. Or disable tech trading, whatever. These are the defaults, so we're going to leave it for now. You folks can dig into it more later. And the one victory condition that is not enabled, interestingly, we'll point this out, we can conquest. We like to conquest. We can alliance win. We can month limit win. And we can prestige win. But we can't influence win. It is turned off. I don't know. Maybe influence, like overpower, is just an easy way, because it does allow you to flip planets wholesale. You get it all without firing a shot. So in a sense, I could see if you just beefed up your influence like mad and you bent everything you had to influence, and you built like star bases that are communication ones, which spread your influence specifically, you could just influence rush the galaxy. And maybe that's why that's off by default. I don't know. But again, those are the defaults. We will leave them as you will find them in your game. Hit back, and we will hit next. This is the final thing. You can custom choose your opponents here that you want to meet with. Here I see 5 to 7 players for the galaxy of our size. The nice thing is that you can just easily tooltip over and just check them out. I have heard recommended from other content creators. We're creating content here. Try not to make content. I try and just play the game legitimately as a fan, and like to hear myself talk. So that's it's not content. I'm not making anything here, folks. I'm just recording myself talking to myself. So have a mix of belligerent Xenos, passive Xenos, the nice guys, the bad guys, and the guys in between. Make a little mix. You could very deliberately go through the pre-made Xenos list over here and choose friends and play one type of game. You could also very deliberately go through here and pick all the bad guys, all the villains, and you're the one person standing against all of them. They'll fight with each other and they'll fight with you, and it could be brutal nonstop warfare, I am sure. So you can really customize this as you want. But yeah, so let's see here. These guys are aggressive expansionists, and I'm going to hold shift here again so I can mouse into this to show you. So that's how I'm keeping this pop-up here, is by holding shift. Aggressive, expansionist, cruel. They got it all. Okay. Here we go. Your singularity. These are the synthetics, scientific, cruel, expansionist. So the cruel expansionist. That's what I'm looking for. Here we go. This is the Taurian regime. They're opportunistic, xenophobic. Okay. We have the Festron Hunt. They're ravenous and friendly. No, aggressive and cruel. Shit. Okay, that's a problem. That's a really bad combination of things to have in a neighbor. Cruelty, aggressiveness, and ravenousness. Okay, when you're the food source. And then over here we have the Altarian Republic. They are fashionable and hot. Yes, that's right. No, they're actually ancient, empathic, spiritual, and peaceful. Okay. This is sexy dom ladies. Anyone? No? Sorry. I'm getting weird now, and I have embarrassed myself. But still, objectively nice makeup. Am I right? Okay. So I'm looking at this going, yeah, we've got like sort of a median ground. Xenophobic, opportunistic. I could see this being an interesting... The Taurians being a civilization that's not afraid to like go out and get stuff, but they're not going to be necessarily militaristically driven. So what can we do? Let's see. I think we could pluck one of these away here. Let's get rid of the Drengen. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. We just click it. Yeah, so I clicked on them. They're gone. So I'd say we have the Yor and the Festron are the baddies. The Altarians are peaceful. The Altarians are peaceful. The Taurians are, I'm going to say, a middle ground. Let's pick another middle grounder here. Navigator. Scientific, xenophobic. Yeah. So let's throw them in. We'll throw them as a middle ground because they're xenophobic. I don't think they'll lean one way or another. And let's find one more peaceful. Let's find the Mimets are peaceful, scientific, fertile. Okay, there we go. They're adorable. There we go. So we've divided it up evenly. We've got 2 aggressives, 2 peacefuls, and 2 in the middles. I think that'll be a great game. Crowded little galaxy. Start game. I got my extremely cold cup of coffee because I've been talking for 40 minutes. And it is nasty. Damn. Okay. Little intro thing. I don't know if you guys can hear any of the sound effects on this. I'm seeing my little sound bar for the game. You guys hear that? Don't sweat it. We don't need to watch all this. You guys can watch those. I clicked off there. I'm trying to turn up the game background a little. I don't want it to dominate with my voice, but I guess for now I'd let you guys hear what they're saying. Oh, okay. And then let's see. Let's move my little face box. I'm so professional. Let's move it over here. Yeah, like right there. Let's see if that stays out of the way. So this is your little turn thing down here. So this is your initial intro blurb. Your explorers in a hostile universe. Blah. Okay. Okay. You guys may get some of the voiceover stuff in the back. You may hear a little bit of the game music. Definitely let me know in comments going forward if our noise levels. I do my sound balancing for the different games I play for YouTube, but they're all different. They're all different. We'll see. Okay, so you're gonna start your game. Let's be logical about it. Let's go through all the initial stuff you need to do on turn 1, turn 2 of a game. We will break down the tabs at the bottom. Let's look at the screen first of all. Okay, so up here, top left, you have your resources. These first 4 are your primary resources, your control points, your manufacturing, your research, and your income. These are essentially empire-wide resources. Now over here are your strategic resources. You will gather these in varying degrees, consume them. Oftentimes you can buy and sell them. Food is unique because you more or less bring it in and put it out every single week. So the food it's showing you there is your surplus of food, but you don't accumulate it. You really don't, and you can't buy it or sell it. So you just want to keep that food number above 0. Simple. No problem. 1 or 2, 3, 4, whatever. It allows you, every time you grow a population, that number is going to go down by 1. You'll need to figure out how to produce more food. Simple. Over here we have modules. These are a consumable starbase modification thing. You build a starbase. It's going to be a military, communication, or mining. 3 types of star bases. And then you can upgrade them, make them better mining, make them more heavily defended, make the communication broadcast greater as you gain technologies. But each modification you do to a starbase is going to take one of these modules. You'll make more, you'll earn more. You could trade for them via diplomacy. You can't buy them on the market though, FYI. But yeah, you get more modules. Every module you add to a starbase, I'm going to tell you right now, is going to slightly increase your tax burden. They aren't for free forever, so bear that in mind. You can build up some sweet-ass starbases, but it costs down. Okay, so that's this top area. Right here is your research bar. Super simple. You can just click into this, and to start with, I'm not going to worry about the little hover guy. That reminds me of what is one of the VR headsets? Astrobots, right? Isn't it Astrobots has like a little guy that looks super similar to that? It's a great game. I like VR, but it makes me nauseous, so stay out of it. Okay, here we go. You are going to want to start with colonial policies de facto. It takes 1 turn to research, and you need it. So this is going to be the first thing you research every game. There's no reason to not do this. It is, and you can see here, let's just break it down. We're in the research tab. Let's talk research tab while we're here. So these are researches that your scientists have a special insight. It's a 50% research bonus. So anything that shows up in here of these 3 boxes, you're going to get twice as fast as additional candidates you choose over here that don't give you a 50% research bonus to learn them. So you don't have to come up. These are kind of guided by what you've chosen more recently. So it's saying, yeah, your scientists worked on these avenues recently, so they're more prepared to quickly research the next thing. And it allows you to follow threads. It is essentially you're following a route path, right? But you don't have to stay on it. You can jump off of it, come over here, choose other things. It's just, you should always try to choose from this just because it's a massive efficiency. So you should always choose this. You will unlock this, by the way, by assigning a technology minister. You'll get that 3rd option chosen from here. This tile will open up. So, but for the time being, colonial policy. So depending on which of these we choose, you can see down here, this is the selected one. So I can choose subspace scanning, or I can come over here and choose artificial gravity, and it shows it down here. So this area is the technology you're currently working on. These are the technologies available. Let's jump back over to colonial policy. Sorry, that is a cold coffee burp. And that is horrible. I am a monster. Okay. We've got the planetary generator. You can see within this like tooltip, I can mouse over these things. And then I'm looking at the planetary generator. Can I mouse over it? So I'm going to hold shift. Can I get in here? And yes. So you see there, tooltip within a tooltip. It's going to break stuff down. But yeah, listen, we want to do this because unlocks the civilization screen and allows us to assign policies. Yeah. We have an entire tab that is grayed out right now because we don't have this colonial policies yet. All these technologies are going to unlock policies. They're going to unlock new research paths. They're going to unlock ship designs. They're going to unlock buildings. They're going to unlock everything. They literally can unlock menus that are locked on the game, you know, so they're broken down by policy enacted here. So if I mouse, let's see. There we go, tooltip. So here is a planetary generator. It's a manufacturing improvement. It's a building, okay? This one here, policy assignment available, is a policy will gain. Why is my tooltip being... Ooh. Oh, wow, that's being kludgy as F, dude. Well, max enacted policy just opens up policy. Sorry. Research districts. Oh, this leads to these researches. Okay. Long story short, you always choose colonial policies first. You need to. So we're going to hit done. Oh, and actually, let me jump back in there real quickly. Technology library, technology navigator, divided by engineering, colonization, warfare, governance. So you can actually see all the technologies. Now, depending on your species and or your civilization, you will have generally the same, but you will have some technologies in these trees that are unique to just your civilization. So not everyone has the same tech trees, just so you know. We will hit back. Okay. We'll hit done. Up here now, you can see that, yes, this is our progress bar. It's going to be 1 month, but you'll see this fill up for things that take multiple months. So super simple. We've covered the research thing. Awesome. We're at 51 minutes. Let's keep going here. Now, next area, this is just showing you whatever you have highlighted. So right now, we have the TSA Discovery. It's one of our ships. But if I click on our planet Earth, you can see this shows me Earth. If I click on a space station, it shows me the space station. If I click on an anomaly, it doesn't show me anything. So, but yeah, essentially you just select, it's going to show you whatever you got down here. Phone is ringing in the background. I apologize. Let's keep going. Up here on this corner, this is sort of your info tab. This is top right here. So this first one is your advisors. And this is just an old Galactic civilization thing where you have different people saying, do this, do this, do this. And it's just kind of fun. You don't have to do any of these. It's really just, I think, a callback to the old versions of the game. Cool. And it's not unhelpful. It's not it'll tell you sometimes to be like, dude, there's a good planet. You need to go colonize this planet. And you're like, oh, there is? Oh, shit, I didn't even notice. You didn't notice because one of your little probe ships, they're automated running off all around. And it doesn't necessarily tell you every time they find something. They are truly revealing the fog of war without you seeing it. So these guys can be helpful, so don't ignore it. But I can click through the tabs up here. This is the summary of the balance of power. As we find other Xenos species, their names will be listed below or among ours. So it'll have all the names here: Terran, Mimot, whatever. And the balance of power bar chart, which is completely blue, will be divided up between us. So if we have 60% of the power, and this Mimots have 40%, it'll show our blue here at 60%, and the remaining 40 will be pink for the Mimot, whatever it is. And as you find more and more Xenos, this bar chart will be divided up between all of you. But it's a quick way to glance up and see how you're doing relative to everyone else. It's a super simple bar graph. Bar graph? Whatever the fuck. It's a super simple chart to see where you stand. And then beyond that, your civilization ring. Nice and simple. Production, research, military might, influence, income, economic power, and approval, meaning how happy your people are. And first through whatever, however many of you there are. In this case, I think there's 7 of us. So yeah, that's where we're sitting. It's really nice. We have 1 core world, no colonies, total population's 10. It's awesome. It's a snapshot. Let's jump to planets. This shows you your core worlds. It shows you your colonies that are not core worlds. We'll get into that. And it shows you planets you've discovered that are uncolonized. It's everything you need. This is a really handy way to find planets that you didn't notice, that your probes found, and you come in here like, oh, oh, that's a poor world, I won't worry about it. Or you might find a level 26 excellent world, and you're like, holy shit, I didn't realize that was there. I better get a colony ship sent off. So check this occasionally. And you can sort by all these different little tabbies here. So if you want to see which of my planets has the best influence to add a influence mod to, like a one-time influence bonus to the planet, you could be like, okay, I'm going to heap this 10% bonus on top of my best influence planet. So you just sort by influence. Boom, you find your planet. Simple. Ships, fleets. Yeah, this is going to fill up. You'll eventually get to a dozen ships, potentially to multiple dozens of ships. But in general, I don't find the ship glut is too bad. Managing fleets and stuff is relatively easy to do. I imagine in a huge galaxy late game, it could go into hundreds and hundreds of ships, but so far I've probably maxed out at maybe like 24, 30 ships, somewhere in that range. And then finally over here, this is your star bases. Shipyards sorted separately from star bases. Star bases subdivided into military, communication, and mining. You could just quickly see through them, click on different ones, see what they're doing, level them up using the modules as you need to. Okay. Let's move on to the next section of the... Oh, by the way, up here you have your prestige victory. Yeah, you can win by a prestige victory, by the way. That was one of the win options, is you do enough of these cool... You fill up this bar here. Sorry, shift. I'm pointing at the screen. You can't see what I'm pointing at. This bar, you fill it up, you win the game by prestige. By just doing cool shit. Special missions. I think it ties in down here. Galactic challenges. You open that up and you can give yourself special missions, or you can completely ignore them. I've never done a single Galactic challenge yet, but it's a whole different avenue of playing the game. You know, these are like complex multi-step missions, kind of like I imagine more of a storytelling mode sort of thing, while you're still playing the normal game. So that's cool. At any rate, and then this is the star date. You can see we're in the year 2307, and that'll advance. Okay. Down here in the lower right is your next item tab, and it'll eventually turn into the standard play button arrow, which means next turn, advance to the next turn. But before it lets you do that, it will take you through, do you have an idle planet that's not building? Do you have an idle shipyard that's not building? Do you have an anomaly that you've just discovered, and it's going to give you choices? You got to make a decision about the anomaly. Do we harvest it? Do we leave it be? Do we give it to, whatever? This is all the role play stuff. And are there ships that are idle? So it will not let you advance a turn until you've addressed everything. You can also tab through. You can cycle. So look, that's tabbing through the different ships that are sitting idle. Here's a shipyard that's idle. You see how that happened? I'll hit done. I'll hit done. I'll back out of there. But it's going to allow you to quickly... It'll lead you through everything you need to do so you're not wasting too much. Now, it's not completely holding your hand. You can be exploring manually with like your flagships, like your USS Enterprises, doing cool space missions. And if they finish a mission, you might not realize that they're just sitting there. You got to get them moving on to the next mission. So it doesn't hold your hand completely, but it's pretty fail-safe. You don't fall through the cracks easily, which I appreciate. So we're going to leave my face box down here, though, because I think it's roughly out of the way. So let's keep going here. And then finally, this is really important. This bottom middle section, the bottom left, as we said, that's just the information screen where you can see the different things, mouse over, right? It's quick info. But this is a big part of it here. Currently, the Civilization tab is grayed out. The Leaders tab is grayed out. It requires Colonial Leadership Council project, which we're going to get here very quickly. The Culture Progression.
Welcome to the Cultural Progress screen.
This is the culture trees. You can click on each one. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. Now check this out. You can have ideology discounts and citizens in your civilization that have the trait that relates. They can be a nihilist. You can have a citizen who's a totalitarian. You can have you get it. So some of these benefits say for every citizen you have that is a pacifist, if you choose this one, you'll gain a +2 to diplomacy. I'm just making that up. But it can work that way. So by cycling through these 8 ideologies, you can quickly see what percentage. So here we are, traditionalism. 14% of our 10 citizens, meaning one of them is a traditionalist. Bear that in mind. Do we have any others? Let's see. No progressivists, no pacifists, one nihilist. So you see, just by random, we have a nihilist. There are things you can do in the game that will push your citizens, or specifically say you gain 2 citizens that have this trait, or 2 of your citizens gain this trait. So you can push your population one way or another. We have, So ultimately, though, once you start down one of these chains, you will gain a discount in that chain. Now, right now, we have no culture points. Interestingly, I have yet to find the thing that tells you how much culture points you develop per turn. Essentially, we're going to get a +1 as soon as we put down our Capitol building? We get 1. And you can get, I've gotten as many as 2. There was some technology or whatever the hell I got that gave me an extra culture point per turn. But I've yet to see a way to see what is contributing to your culture points. It's bizarre. Stardock, what the heck? Why in this screen here, in this little paragraph area, is there not a thing you can mouse over that shows you where your culture points are coming from? Please. If it can be more than 1, then we need to know where they're coming from so we can track how we're getting them. Note to manufacturer. Okay. At any rate, we have no culture points yet, and this very first one here, you can see, will cost us 12 points, right? Here, 12 culture points. We have insufficient culture points to purchase it yet. And then, what were we? Were we traditionalists? We're one of these. Let's see. 12. I'm just cycling through. I thought one of these. Can't remember what we are. Oh, here we are. We're individualists as Terrans, and you'll notice I bring it up because you can see it only cost us 9 culture points to buy into this tree, because we have an ideological 25% discount to individualism, because that's what we are. And as you play the game, you can make choices that will make you more nihilistic, more progressive, more totalitarian. Yes, totalitarian is on there. More traditional, whatever the fudge. And so you can shift this percentage up here and move it around. Or you can drill into it and always be like individualism all the time. And it'll allow you to travel and progress through this individualism tree much more quickly if you drill down on it. But you're never locked out of any of them. Although they can get pretty damn pricey as the culture requirements grow. Culture point requirements grow. We'll hit done. So we can't buy anything there yet. We're going to keep going. We're going to try and cover all the tabs here. Executive orders. This is a nice one. This is very simple. Right now, we have 3 executive orders we can do. To activate an executive order, you must spend control points up here. Control cost 33 points. Credit cost 0 in this case. Cooldown 12 turns. The turns means the turns up here when you hit the turn button in advance. So all of these have a cooldown. Cooldown of 30. Cooldown of 18. The number of executive orders you can do will grow as you research and gain abilities in the game. You'll unlock more of these. I think I've gotten up to maybe like 7 or 8 of them. Again, I haven't gotten that far into the game yet. But this is what I was saying. If you look on here, this is 33 control, 15 control, 45 control. We have 80. We would have started with 100, and we're gaining a +2 per turn because we're bureaucratic +1, which gives us that +2. This is one of our traits. This is one of our civilization traits. So you're sitting there going, well, geez, I want to start clicking on all these. It's like, yeah, you'll burn through it really, really quick. If we clicked all 3s, which we could do, we could do each of these until we've burnt everything up. We could spend 33, spend 45, then we'd be out of culture points at that point. But you don't necessarily want to do every one of these every time. You can do it. Even when the cooldown pops, you don't just spam these. Why? Because look at this. If I print money, my approval will drop by 10%. So I will spend 45 control, which is a resource I have. It's meant to be spent. It will take me essentially 18 months for this to be used again. I will gain 500 income. That's a nice bonus. It's not, it's not huge, but it's pretty decent. Get me a leader or 2. But it'll cost me minus 10% approval from all my citizens for approximately a year, for about 10 turns. So it's a trade-off. I don't want to print money every single time I can print money because it'll make my people unhappy every time I print money. So it's not like control. I haven't seen a massive need for an overabundance of it yet. I really haven't. We look over here. Telescope. We're going to use the telescope, kids. But yeah, let's do an example. Let's do telescope takeover. We're going to grab a telescope from a private corporation, and it'll allow us to reveal an area of the map. So let's do it. We're going to click it. You'll notice up here our control will drop from 80 to 65. Spend it. Yes, we have a final verification. We're going to scroll out, and you see I have a little target area. So check this out, folks. Let's zoom all the way out. There's your galaxy. Yeah? This is our sector. It is literally a circular area within the galaxy with these stars that we are playing inside of right now. We're playing in a binary sector galaxy, meaning there's one more of these circles somewhere in the galaxy, as of yet undiscovered. There will be Xenos in it, waiting for us. So there's some Xenos in here with us now. There'll be other Xenos in the other sector as well. We'll be able to travel to it. But as we zoom in, by the way, this quarter arc up here represents your influence control. And you can see for our area that we know of, we have full control over the areas we're aware of in our sector. But as we find other Xenos, they'll start creeping in, and this pi arc will change. A pi arc? Yeah, that's what it is. And it'll be color-coded. And so when you've discovered 5 of the Xenos, there'll be 5 colors on here, and you can see how much of the sector you control. What that means is at the macro level, if you have, say, you're playing on a galaxy with 8 sectors, you can look at one and very quickly say, I have 100% control of this sector. I've explored the entire sector, and it's all blue. It's mine. There's no Xenos presence. So I'm going to focus on other sectors that are contested. That's what that is. It's a great, quick, graphical way to represent your control of given sectors. So that's what that's about. That's what I'm going to try and provide through these tutorials, is that kind of insight and explanation. Sorry, I've been talking a lot. Let's zoom back in here, though. So now we're back to the fog of war. You have a general idea of the shape of the sector, how big it is, its dimensions. So in case that's not clear, you can see there where the stars are laid out. You zoom in a little bit. And even through the fog of war, you can see the color of the star. Obviously, stars can be seen from billions of light years away, and that's how the galaxy physics, that's how physics work, folks. But we've only really explored this small area here. You can see where the fog of war has been revealed out to this range. So there's quite a bit to explore. Let's use our telescope to see which direction. Do we want to go towards the middle of the sector and try and make a rush towards the middle, which would expose us to more Xenos on more sides? Or do we want to go to one side? So check this out. If I zoom in, I'm seeing some cool stuff over here, some resources, Mars. Let's imagine we want to hug the edge. You're right. I know the edge is over here. I want to see what's down here and hug this edge. So I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to use my telescope to see. Let's do. I'm trying to see if I can get to. Let's just do this though. Boom. There we go. Now look at this nice defined arc here. That is the edge of the sector. I'm going to zoom out so you can clearly see how that maps directly to the edge of the sector. Let's zoom back in. Are there Xenos here? No, I don't see any Xenos. So I think at this edge, it's away from other people. I want to move into this area. Look what we've got. Asteroid belts. Awesome. We've got an economic relic we can go explore and get, and just it's like a treasure. It's a loot box. So much fun getting these. There's all sorts of capsules, all sorts of cool stuff. Here is a poor planet, Kratos, class 2 poor. So it'll give a little bit of resources, but we're not going to want to make it a core world. Here is Kratos 4, class 25, amazing. This is going to be a core world, right? And then Kratos 3 will feed into it. We got some other little planets. Kratos 1 is dead. It's worth nothing. Kratos 2 is a 22 amazing. Not as good as Kratos 4. So this might be our main core world, and then we might colonize Kratos 3 and Kratos 2 and have them feed in their smaller amount of resources into the, like a system capital, and these planets feed in. And it'll help Kratos, for the core world there, grow much more quickly because it's leeching off of these sub colonies we'll create. That's how we're going to do it. Or we can make both of these decent worlds into core worlds and have 2 core worlds within the one solar system, but then, they're going to grow more slowly. Depends on how you want to play. And then finally over here, we have Kratos 5, which is another poor world. But what this will do, we'll just talk about it real quick. The 2 minerals, the 1 research, the 1 wealth, the 2 food, and the 1 influence, cultural significance, will all pour from this world into this world. And then theoretically, depending on proximity, I don't know what Kratos 3, if it will pour into this planet or this planet. But yeah, this is kind of cool, actually. It's a little rare to have 4 resource planets in around 1 star. I don't think I've seen that before. I've seen up to 3, but yeah, this is a system we want. And this could grow and be a powerhouse really quickly. It could far exceed the Sol system where Earth is, because I don't think Earth has this many resource planets available. What else do we got over here? Some more asteroids, artifacts, precursor anomaly. Ooh, artifact. Ooh, look at this. Oh my god, look, I can zoom in. We can go research this little bizarre guy. By the way, if I click down left and right mouse button and hold at the same time, it allows me to drag around. If I hold down my wheel and move left, right, I can rotate. Check that out. Isn't that cool? It's not even the same on the front and the back. And then, of course, if you wheel in and out, you can zoom in and out. So to get back, I'm going to hold down again the left and right mouse key at the same time, and I will drag down, get back to here. And then I can just, wait, let's see. Oh, you can just hold the left mouse. Sorry. Wait. Wait. Okay, so mouse wheel zooms in and out. Left mouse lets you scroll left and right. You don't need to hold down the left and the right. But there was something to change your orientation? There's a way to... I could have sworn there was a way to change your view of the plane of the galaxy, right? How far off the elliptical you are looking. That is what I'm not sure about. So here, let's zoom into Earth rotate. Do that. Do that. Huh. Okay, well, now I can't remember. I can't remember if there's a way to change the view of angle. There we're rotating. I'm holding the middle mouse wheel to rotate. Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm holding down the middle mouse, the mouse wheel, holding it down, and then I can drag up and down. But that's as low as I can go, it looks like. So we'll reorient it about where it was, and then we'll zoom out. So yeah, there you go. So bottom line is we spent the 15 control, and we gained the ability to use the telescope. Cool. All right. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. God, there's so much to cover. Databank. Yeah, there's a lot in here. Civilization, timeline, report, stats, core worlds, treaties. I won't even get into all this just yet. This is more cybermetric data analysis. You can play the entire game without going into that tab, functionally. So, but I'm sure it's very useful to understand stuff. And then, yeah, Galactic Challenges isn't open yet. Diplomacy's not open. Artifacts aren't open. We need to research Universal Translator. Yeah, the Bazaar's not open. Oh yeah, so that's your trade thing. Let's I think we're gonna end it right there at 1 hour and 15 minutes. I want to just keep going. I think I actually got a soccer game I've got to get to, though. Legitimately. It's my day's grinding on. Maybe I'll sit down later and make a part 2. And it's not that, like, again, I want to beat folks over the head with, like I don't... I've made plenty of videos, hundreds of videos playing games. But I'm not trying to, like, be someone who, like, every day I put out a video and I've made 3,000 videos. That's not it. I'm not trying to overdo it. I've got other shit going on in my life. I've only got so many hours a week I can sit down and play the games, to be quite honest. But I would like to get the tutorials, whether it's going to take 2 or 3 episodes, to literally just be like, we've gotten to turn 3, we've covered all the basic mechanics of the game, and now we can get into deeper analysis. It's more spread out. But I don't want people to have to wait 3 weeks to get through these initial tutorials. I think that's reasonable. I would rather put out 3 like in a week, just boom, 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 and people can watch them and get a real feel for the game, or be able to jump right into the game with a little bit of confidence about how shit's going to work. And I think that's what we're going to do. So we'll end this here at an hour and 15. That's plenty long. And we'll make an episode 2 and probably an episode 3 for, again, these initial stages. If you watched, thank you. Yeah, I hope this is good. Let me know. Give me feedback on this one for real folks. We could take it in all different ways. I've role-played some stuff. Whatever. I'm sure you guys have clicked off by now. I'm just talking. But, yeah, let me know if this is the right tempo, the right tone, the speed, more detail, less detail. I'm kind of giving you all the detail I can think of. My voice is going to hoarse from the amount of talking I'm doing. But every number, every pop-up box, there is stuff to look at and to analyze. The scope of this game is immense, but it plays real smooth. And I think the thing that's so special about this game is that you don't need expertise to enjoy it and have fun with it. But you can exercise expertise if you want to and get into all the numbers and min-max the F out of this game. So, a lot of potential there. Okay, folks, I'm signing off for now. I'll get you that part 2. Take care.